All right, let's get into it. Right now, I'm gonna show you how to create an ad on Facebook. Facebook is more for people who actually have a little bit of a budget, that can actually spend money on advertising to get new eyes to your website, to your funnel, to your page, in a sense. So there's two ways. Sometimes Facebook changes the algorithm, meaning like sometimes you can see create an ad. It can be next to where it says your name, your home, find friends. It can be over here where it says create down here, whether you create a page, a group, an event, a fundraiser. And if you also want to create an ad, you can go down to this upside down triangle, and that's what we're going to do today. We're not going to create a page, but I'm going to show you guys how to create an ad. And the difference between creating a page versus an ad actually can it actually has more features in the reach and in what you can actually do with it, in the sense of what do you want to promote. The page is a little bit more, it's getting bigger. The page actually itself is getting bigger as far as what you can do, as far as the reach and the different features of customizing your target audience. So what I did here, we're in the ads manager, but before we actually create an ad itself, I want to go to where it says ad manager and click on, because we want to just we want to do some market research. And today we're going to get into ClickFunnels. That's just something I thought up. I'm a ClickFunnels user, so that's something I thought up. So if I wanted to find out who is my target audience, how can I actually research this on Facebook before I actually create an ad? Because before you create an ad, you definitely don't want to target everybody. Because even if everybody can use it, if everybody's not looking for it, then you make no money because nobody's really interested in it. So you want somebody who could possibly be interested in what it is that you have to offer. So let's say I'm overweight, okay? But let's say I'm not ready to lose weight. I just don't want it. I just don't want to lose weight. Let's say I'm happy with the way I am. I know I can stand to lose a few pounds, but if you sell a weight loss course or some type of health regimen, I'm not going to be interested in it, even though I might need it, even though it's beneficial for me. So that's the reason why you don't want to sell to everybody. You really want to get into the mind of who would want my product or service. So we're going to go to the ads manager and opened up, and we're going to go to audience insight. Yes, we're going to leave the page for a second of creating an ad, because we want to do, our main focus is basically the target audience, the market research. And this here, you can actually take a tour if you like, but for the purposes of this video, I might as well do the shortcut and just show you how. So today we're going to be talking about ClickFunnels and how would it be, who would want a service like ClickFunnels. And for those of you who don't know what ClickFunnels is, it's software for entrepreneurs, small businesses in general, anybody who's looking to make money. A software like ClickFunnels with sales funnels and all that is really, really beneficial for you. So we want to promote the company itself. And the CEO, one of the CEOs is Russell Brunson, great guy. I met him about three times, plan to meet him next year in ClickFunnels event. So he's an entrepreneur himself. And he has helped tons of entrepreneurs. This man is like breeding millionaires, and I plan to be one of them soon. So you have to ask, what kind of genre is this man in? Like, does this man fall in, like, the category? Who else would be somebody that's looking to build an online business, that's also interested, listen to a lot of gurus, online gurus out there, or just entrepreneurs in general? So the first person that comes to mind when it comes to, let's say, not just software, but in the entrepreneurial space, would be somebody like Tony Robbins, the Walk on Fire guy. I actually want to try that soon. It's not even a money thing. It's trying to, do I really want my feet to be burning? I mean, I know he does some type of trick with the mind, but anyway, let's get back into the video. Tony Robbins. Okay, who else? Gary V. We definitely, Russell has met him, and I'm trying to think of all the people that he's actually interviewed that also would be beneficial to promoting a software like ClickFunnels, because his audience can be their audience. You know what I mean? Like Tony Robbins, Russell has done stuff for Tony, and and now some of Tony's audience now knows Russell through the interview and through the mechanics and the workings of the business ties that Russell has with Tony. Okay, let's see. I know I'm missing a few. Let's do Dean. Here we go. Brazio. He was also at the ClickFunnels event. Let's get a few more. We just want to. So I actually want to get a few more before we go into the criteria here of specifying who exactly that we're looking for. Let's do Mike Dillard, another big person in the space of online and entrepreneurship. Let's do Frank Kern, Daddy Frank. Frank Kern also has a similar software. He also worked with Russell, but he has a similar software just like Russell, like ClickFunnels. Let's see if Alex Becker is on here. He might not be, because sometimes a lot of guys might be big time gurus, but they might necessarily be big on Facebook. But I know he's huge on Instagram, on YouTube. Let's see. Robert, let's do him. Here we go. I was going to butcher his name just now. Onyx Singal is also another big time online guru, entrepreneur. All right, I think we have enough. So we can see that 54% of people who actually look at who's on Facebook that's into this type of online affiliate marketing or just small business in general are women. 46% are men. Still pretty close. So I really wouldn't really specify the exact gender, when they're so close in between, but we will specify exactly the age group that we're going to target when we create an ad. So the age group we're looking for, we're going to start it at the 25 mark. Why? Because 18 to 24 is very, very, very low. Most times these guys are just into, let's say, a platform like Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and that's nothing wrong. But because we're on Facebook, we're going to keep it where we need the people who are going to be on Facebook that's going to be interested in a company like ClickFunnels. So we're going to start so when we make our ad, we're going to start at the 25 mark, and we're going to go all the way up to 54. Because as you can see, the numbers, these are the biggest numbers. So you got the 25, 34-year-olds, you got 35 to 44-year-olds, and then it starts to dwindle slightly between the 45 and the 54-year-olds, and then it just goes down from there, so on and so forth. So we're going to keep it where we're going to start the ad from the age of 25 up to 54. Cool. Now here, me personally, I don't pay too much attention, but it's good knowledge that Facebook knows. Kind of scary at the same time too, but it's still good knowledge to know that people are most people are married that I guess use the services, or not use ClickFunnels, sorry, but actually listen to all these guys, Onyx, Dean, Frank. That some of these guys have softwares themselves that's in competition with ClickFunnels or similar to ClickFunnels. I know Frank does. I know Onyx does. I don't know if Dean does. He might. I don't know if he does now. He might do it now. But these are people who actually are in the genre of a person like Russell Brunson. So education level, it's just amazing how Facebook knows all of this stuff about the people who actually listens or have consumed some type of content from some of these gurus, and it's amazing to me. Okay, and another thing is we're going to go into the page likes. This is another thing I look at. Let's say if I only had one person, let's say if I just erase all these guys and I just had one person, I can actually find out more of who this audience, what kind of content do they consume, what kind of authors, what kind of people. Maybe I'm missing somebody. So I got Robert, I got Gary V, but I didn't get Dwayne Dyer. I don't know how Maya Angelou fits into it, but I know Dwayne Dyer was a great motivational speaker. Les Brown is too. But these are some of the things that your audience, your potential audience consume on a daily basis. Like these are some of the things. So if you can actually look at the page likes of the majority of the people who listens to all these people here, all these gurus that's actually teaching people on a regular basis. And if you wanted to find out, if you only had one person to, let's just knock some of these guys out. Let's just do that for an example real quick. I'm going to put them back, but we're going to knock these guys out for a second. So let's say I just only had Onyx. What do you know? We're promoting ClickFunnels. Russell Brunson's comes up. Okay, you just wanted to see what other person that, or whatever, what other content can you use to actually create some type of information to get you to understand or know who you targeting. Let's see this guy. Who was this guy? Let's see, Nick. Let's go up to Nick. Let's see what Nick is about. I'm not sure exactly what Nick does. Okay, Nick is into meditation. Okay, and I know Onyx. I met Onyx too. Great dude. He actually is into the mindset thing, and meditation is a great thing. So I understand. You know, I know he's also, I think, Christian, I believe. That's the reason why Joe Osteen is there. Okay. We can also go into the authors. I don't know who this person is, and I really don't know. She has 2.1 million followers. Whoa. Okay. So she's also Christian. She's talking about the Christian life. She also sells things about health. Okay. So in that event, I would definitely click on Russell. I wouldn't really click on Russell, but Zig Ziglar. I just made a mistake and passed that. You want to deep dive into see it because I wanted to see if Russell had anything that would actually poke out to me of something that I actually can use when we come to entrepreneurship. When it comes to finding out who else can I target, even if I had one person. So Zig Ziglar was a famous motivational speaker that passed away a few years back. So if I only had Onyx, Singal, I can put a man like Zig Ziglar. He was more than an author, actually. He was an entrepreneur, motivational speaker. And then you get a few guys you can put in there. Jim Rohn. Go back to Wayne Dyer. Onyx pops back up, and we already have Onyx down there. So you got a few things. So we're going to put these guys back. We're going to put Mike Diller back. We're going to put Robert back. Tony. Eddie Kern. Gary V. Spell the name right. Okay, I'm gonna go back to, you can actually stroll through this, the location, which I really don't personally use. Sometimes I think content, data like this can go for certain types of services or what it is that you want to sell or want to know about your audience. But I think for software like ClickFunnels, not necessarily, but it's just good and scary that Facebook has it. Okay, so we're going to go back to demographics. Okay, because I put in Zig Ziglar, and sometimes, it kind of fluctuate depending on the what do you call that? The rotation of these guys, meaning that if I took some of these guys out and I didn't put it back in the same order, sometimes it gets a little like offset sometimes, but 46% of men, 54% for women. So I would still keep the gender very, very, like I would still have gender all. So we know that in relations to that. Okay, great. So now let's go back. back. All right, it took me back to the home page. That's cool. We go back to that upside down triangle on your right side, up in the right hand corner. Create ad. Non-discriminatory policies. Great. I'm going to end that. Done. Okay, so now we're going to create a new campaign. Most times for me, especially somebody that's new on Facebook, they want traffic. Traffic, just simply people knowing what you do, being introduced to what your product and services are. So I would go with traffic, and some people, depending on their company and what they do, they go to lead gen. That's the two basic reasons why you want to run an ad. So for this, we're going to go to traffic. Scroll down here, and I just put, let's say we just put ClickFunnels affiliate. My time zone is New York time. That's where I'm from. Continue. Then we're actually going into the create new ad set. So I just keep it the same in the sense of just ClickFunnels. Get my spelling right. And you want the traffic to go to your website. Those of you who are actually in the app business, you want the traffic to go to your app, Messenger, WhatsApp. But we're gonna go to the website for the most part. Facebook has a lot of cool things where you can actually save the audience that you're looking for, or create a custom audience, especially if you know exactly who it is that you want to target. What's cool about the whole thing is that the size of, you really don't need this many people. I mean, this is amazing. 240 million people. You have to have first of all, you have to have a budget like ridiculously big. It has to be stupid big to actually target all of these folks that's actually in the looking around space of, looking at different businesses and stuff. Now, there's more people on Facebook than this, but come on. This is a big budget here. But so for the sake of everything, we want to keep it in the range between, especially if you're running like a $20 a day budget. You can do it. You can do it $5 a day. It just takes longer to actually reach your audience. So for $20 a day ad spend, you're looking at a size of 500 to no more than 1 million. Anything more than that, you can make it work, definitely, because it's a social media platform, and you definitely don't want to be salesy. You want to be sociable, because Facebook will shut you down being really, really salesy and just, kind of, because they have really strict guidelines and rules on how they want you to advertise. So let's say United States is huge, because obviously it has 240 million people from Facebook, not even including the people who are in third world countries with internet access and knows about Facebook. So let's say we want to target people in Brooklyn, New York. That's where I'm from. Boom. Just to narrow it down a little bit more. This is still a lot. 10 million. Guess what? If 10 million people buy my stuff, I'm not complaining. But let's just, knock it down a little bit. So I told you in the audience insights, we want to start at the age of 25. Start at age 25 to age 54, you said. And every time you adjust something, it actually knocks it down. This is still really, really big. You don't have to really do any type of language, but when I used to do it, because it really doesn't matter, because Facebook predominantly is in the United States as far as the language spoken. So English all. And every time you do something different, it actually will knock down the size here. Now, this is very, very You have to pay attention to this because the detailed targeting is your most important thing. Me, when I first started with Facebook ads, I used to put everything in here. I didn't narrow it down at all. And when you narrow a Facebook detailed targeting, it actually is like you saying and. So let's say I'm going to show you right now. Instead of me telling you verbally, let me just show you and tell you. All right, so the guys we were looking at, the people who could possibly be interested in ClickFunnels or Russell Brunson, would be people like Mike Dillard. All right, that's an interest. People who are interested in Mike Dillard. What's cool about Facebook, the powerful thing about Facebook, it has suggestions if you don't understand. See, it knocked it down to 650,000 people. Great. We're in a great range of a $20 ad spend because your $20 can actually stretch quite a long time, especially if the ad is running good, to 650,000 people. So, but we're going to go to the button called suggestions. And suggestion is really powerful because it simply does what it says. It gives you suggestions. So let's say people we're not thinking about. Like I didn't think about Brendan Burchard, but he's a great dude. He's an entrepreneur. So we're going to put Brendan in there. And we're keeping everything interest-based. We're not doing job titles. We're not doing any type of employer, things of that nature. We're keeping everything that we're looking for as interest-based. I don't know who Lewis Holmes is, but I'm pretty sure he's probably an entrepreneur. But for the sake of everything, let's just go with the people I do know. Gary V. Boom. See how it's bringing it back up. But we're going to do Tony. Let's see. Tony, I knew was going to bring it back up. Robert. And they're bringing it back up. Okay, see the reason why Think and Grow Rich is a book. So we're going with the person for right now. We're not going with the actual book or company. So that's what we want to do in the first targeting section. Then when you narrow it down, then you can actually, pick up people who bought Think and Grow Rich or Rich Dad, Poor Dad, etc. You get what I'm saying? So you definitely want to do that. Being that I'm looking at the 4-hour work week, I'm looking at Tim Ferriss. Okay. All right, that didn't really move anything. All right, Onyx. Still quite a few people here for a $20 ad spend, but I think at one time I was running an ad at the time, it was a $20 ad spend, but I had different ads. It was about 3 million. So let's see if I can hit the suggestions. So sometimes, you might not be in the right thought of mind in a sense. Brian Tracy. Okay. All right. So with the people that we got so far, all right, so now we want to narrow it down because this audience still is kind of big for a $20 ad spend. Like I said, it can still work depending on how you what it is that you say in your copy, in your ad. So we're going to narrow it down. What's another, because ClickFunnels is a software and also deals with people that's affiliates, small businesses. So what other companies is kind of like that? Let's go with a company called ClickBank. It's one of the biggest online affiliates, even though it's interest-based as well, but now we're dealing with different companies. You get what I'm saying? We're not dealing with the people itself. All right. It actually knocked us down to 1,000. So let's see what else we can do. Let's do Shopify. People in Shopify can use see how I brought it back up? 290. That's a great spin. All right. WooCommerce. Okay. Hootsuite just jumped it up to 530, which is perfect. But we got to go a little deeper because I think it's Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft used to be a competitor to ClickFunnels, is not anymore, but it's still a big platform to actually get that does kind of the same thing that ClickFunnels does. I personally think that's great in the sense of the audience that might not have ClickFunnels, but just they might use different things like this. I mean, you can keep going if you want. Let's say the HubSpot. Let's see what HubSpot does to us. Okay, didn't push us up too much, and you see how we actually are doing it. People that might use Wix. I think Wix was up there. Wix.com. Bumped us up another 10,000. I think I seen, if I'm not mistaken, WordPress. People try to sell things. And you see how it says WordPress employers and also interest? We want to put interest. Okay. So now we already have platforms that people may use to actually promote some of the stuff that they do. All right. So we're going to narrow the search down a little more. We want everybody. We want to exclude Russell Brunson because that's who the company we're promoting is, his company. So we don't want the people who already have ClickFunnels. So that's why we, hold on, make sure I did it right. Exclude instead of narrow, sorry. Russell, we don't want you right now. We want you, but we don't want you. We're promoting your company, sir. Boom, 280,000 people. Perfect for actually creating an ad. And honestly, you want to keep everything as automatic placement because Facebook kind of knows exactly where to put your stuff, especially if you're new. So doing the edit placement, you really don't know yet, even though you might hear a lot of gurus say, well, you need to edit your placement because you're spending money here and nobody looks here in the feed and da-da-da-da-da. But you don't know. So it's like, let Facebook, which is an algorithm, do your data for you. If your ad is good, it's all that matters really, and it's just all that matters. So obviously, the default name is traffic. So then I just put whatever I'm promoting, ClickFunnels traffic. That's how I keep myself organized. You can create a page. I actually suggest you do create a page because nowadays they want you to have a page before you can have an ad, but they want you they push you to really have a page as well. And you can do an image. In my personal profession, I do believe videos are the most powerful thing now. People are visual learners. So I think that videos and things of that nature works better for ads because people want to see what it is you have. Not just guess by a picture that they consume is one thing when it's another. And sometimes if you have more than one picture, you can actually create a slide, which is also good too. So that's what you do here. And let's say I just wanted to do let's go back up here. Let's go to image. There we go. I was looking for that. And Facebook actually came across Shutterstock, I believe. And let's put online marketing. Let's put online. Let's just see what the pictures are when we just put online. You want to show something that's related to what it is that you are trying to promote. And you can do it where, you have a few images that can create a slideshow. So if you don't have a video just yet, but if you can promote in ClickFunnels, you will have a video, or you can actually create another video in your own words of what ClickFunnels is and what it's done for you. And you create a slideshow. You know what I mean? So that goes that. And your text will always have to be something like a story. I'm not going to really get into the creation of the ad. I just wanted to walk you through it. But your text is always a story. Either a story about what is done for you, what is done for somebody else, and why a person should buy it, and your website URL goes here so you can drive them to whatever it is you're promoting. And your call to action, which is your headline. Something that stands out that's just going to make somebody stop. I mean, your story is going to be in your text. This is where you put your URL. Your headline is something that's going to catch somebody. So let's say Russell has a thing called How to Retire in 100 Days. It sounds great, doesn't it? And I really don't know why the pictures are not showing up here. But if you found value, I know this video was a little long here, but if you found value in what I was sharing with you about the research and the market research with the audience insight, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, comment, share the video for somebody who actually is into either promoting ClickFunnels or affiliate marketing. That's another great thing. The Facebook audience insight is if you don't know who your target audience, or you want to find a little bit more research on what it is that they consume, the books they read, who was another person that they might like, that they might follow. That's a great way of knowing who your target audience is and getting into the minds of what they consume to actually see what it is that they like to buy or they like to consume. So if you just like it, just any feedback is necessary. Just let me know and just be in the know and on the know. I make these videos for one reason, guys, because you're worth it. See you later.